Why don't you think government is offering anything for upper middle class Indians? Like majority of people, if I am well off, if I am earning really good, I could move to Dubai, right? I could be a digital nomad these days, sit in Thailand, do whatever I want. Why should I be in India then? And government is not offering anything for us. Why is that? So +1 हो रहा है, right? China से सारी इंडस्ट्रीज इंडिया आ रही है. इंडस्ट्री इंडिया क्या आ रही है? They are setting up a +1 factory है. So is it benefiting our country? कुछ genuinely हो रहा है या फिर वो ये factory डल रही है सॉलो का? If I'm getting very well, I'm very well off, I'm getting really nice money in my life, I'm enjoying my life, I could be wherever I want. Why should be I part of Indian ecosystem where I can be part of US? I wanted to talk to you कि अभी recently हमारे नारायण मूर्ति जी ने बोला कि 70 hours work week should be mandatory for our country, because जिस रेट से हम बढ़ना चाहते हैं उस रेट से I don't think so हमारा देश बढ़ रहा है. So do you think it's reasonable for a 20-year-old guy to work 70 hours per week?
The infrastructure development which has taken place in last few years definitely has helped to provide the facility to develop. Because investment in infrastructure, like one American president said, America is rich because the infrastructure is rich. And the conclusion was that a few 0.25% increase in the GST rate will give more revenue to the government than in income tax. And you are harassing the entire nation by keeping the income tax. Because the requirement to cater the need of the downtrodden or the poor class is so huge. All resources are dried up there. Hardly anything is left for the middle class. Very poor people don't need any support from the government. They need bread. They flexes their muscle. They earn enough and they're satisfied. The upper class is happy. They have the money for every need and they are hardly bothered. It is only the middle class and the upper middle class who exercises his brain, fix the priorities and do the all exercises. That is all right. People brain drain to hota hai. Most of the IIT or the IIM MBAs they switch over to the Western countries.
Exactly.
Because still the remuneration is not that high as that is there in that country. And they face the competition from the Harvard pass outs and all that. That is there. Still IIM people are the second grade MBAs there.
Yes, exactly.
But still they get the better remuneration here.
So बजट आया अभी जस्ट कल, राइट? सो बजट ऑफ 2024 में आपका ओपिनियन क्या है?
It was not a full-fledged budget, simply a vote on account. Though she has showcased the vision for the coming years, but as such, no specific proposal was there for taxation or any relaxation.
तो आपके हिसाब से कुछ माइन्यूट चेंजेस होने चाहिए थे जो हुए नहीं, राइट?
If they would have done it, the opposition would have said they have done it because of the elections, and if they don't do it, then they still say that they have not done anything.
Basically, दोनों तरह की चीजें.
Normally, every year in election year, it is a vote on account, not the normal full-fledged budget.
Yeah.
Though they could have touched certain points here or there, nothing much.
So I really wanted to talk to you about the unemployment under 25. I've seen somewhere that around 43% of the people under 25 are unemployed. Why do you think that is? I mean, ऐसा क्यों है?
I think, as per my opinion goes, it is because of the faulty education system which we are having in India. Still we are following the British system that classroom teaching is there, far away from the practical exposure.
Yeah, for sure.
So on the job training or whatever the students' liking is, it should be their exposure to the actual field. When they come out of the colleges, they are basically misfit for any job. That's causing the unemployment. Even the MBAs or the engineers, they are hardly...
the degrees of no use.
The degrees are of no use.
So don't you think that government should take any strict actions against it, right? I mean, सरकार तो कुछ करे. I mean, पहले तो education system को ठीक करे first of all.
Like in chartered accountancy course,
yeah,
the student has to undergo 3-year training under a chartered accountant on the job.
Exactly.
And simultaneously has to appear the exam also.
Exactly.
So this is the real thing what should have been done in the education system also. There should be 3 months or 6 months exposure of the field. That is necessary.
So for example, मैं आपको एक scenario create करके देता हूँ. If you would be education minister of our country, आप क्या 3 चीज़ ऐसी करते जो कि एजुकेशन सिस्टम को बेटर कर सकता था?
Total revolution of the curriculum. That is very essential. Because in my line, if a BCom student pass out from the college, he do not know about the cashback or the ledger. He do not know how to operate the tally system, which is the most common accounting program.
Yeah.
So unless that training is given to the students during the academic period, that makes them practically possible to obtain a job immediately after passing out from the college.
That's the
So
first
practical training is necessary.
So practical training is a must. Secondly,
the software engineers are taught these days, even in the engineering college, the obsolete program of 20 years back.
Yeah, obviously. Yeah.
So they are good for nothing when they come out of the engineering college because it is a very fastly updated
curriculum.
Things changes very fast in computer line. So that should be updated very frequently.
Yeah. And third one. Don't you think this should be something about vocational courses? Right?
The practical exposure which I said, either the college should invite the agencies into the college to teach them till they develop their own infrastructure.
Yeah.
Or they send the students outside to the world to learn more. That should be there.
And I wanted to ask you कि IITs की hype है, IIT कर लो ये हो जाएगा, फोड़ दोगे ये कर लोगे. But if I am a mechanical branch student, right? If I'm doing mechanical कर रहा हूँ, civil कर रहा हूँ और मैं IIT से हूँ, I'm getting average package of 12 lakhs, 10 lakhs, right? So hype तो मुझे तो सिखाया गया था कि 1 करोड़ रुपए मिलेगा. But now I'm getting 11 lakh, 12 lakh. So is it because of the branch या फिर they're not ready for the industry?
IIT brand ठप्पा जैसे कहते हैं वो बहुत important है. Once you are having a IIT degree, you are accepted even in the mechanical engineering is accepted in the software branches.
Yeah.
Because you have the basically brand ki aap intelligent hai and you can do whatever you are taught. So basic college education is hardly anything. But whichever line you are, you should be bright.
Exactly.
Tendulkar either goes in the opening or in the middle order, and wherever he will go, he will score runs.
Yeah.
Similarly, the bright student, if he goes in any of the branch, he will score.
Great. I mean, आपके हिसाब से eventually you have to be bright, you have to be the guy who want to work hard.
If you are IIT pass out, you are a licensed bright person.
Yeah, that is something. And I wanted to talk to you कि अभी recently हमारे नारायण मूर्ति जी ने बोला कि 70 hours work week should be mandatory for our country because जिस rate से हम बढ़ना चाहते हैं उस rate से I don't think so हमारा देश बढ़ रहा है. So do you think it's reasonable for a 20-year-old guy to work 70 hours?
It is practically wrong, I say. I have enough guts to say it's wrong.
Yeah.
Because 48 hours, which is written in the law, is sufficient for every worker if he do sincerely work during the prescribed time.
Exactly. I mean, there's
hardly here or there may be all right, but 70 hours is very high.
So, what do you think is the reason why?
Particularly India is overpopulated, where there is a shortage of manpower. Then we can take the extra working hours. From
Exactly.
India is overpopulated, then there is no need of 72 hours.
Great. So, I wanted to ask you, you've been CA for 40 plus years, right?
46 years.
46 years, oh my god. 46 years. Do you think CA is a great career still in 2024?
Basically, when we pass out, there are two openings. Either we join job or we go for our own practice. Gradually, with the online working, faceless working, the practice part has become slightly more less attractive.
Yeah.
Jobs are wonderful. Always they had been and still it is.
So I think according to you, if you will be a CA in 2024, this year for example, you will be passing out CA, तो आप job करते या still you will practice of your own?
It depends on individual to individual because when you sit in your own practice, you have to develop the infrastructure, take a space, computer, staff, and everything, office, library. So many things are there, and they have become expensive.
Exactly.
When I started in 1978, things were much cheaper. And initially, if you don't get the remuneration to meet your expenses for a year or two, alternatively, you have a very lucrative career in the salary. So people tend to move in that direction.
So you were a great student in CA, right? You were the excellent student, as we all know. But why didn't you choose the job over the creating your own business out of this? I mean, you could have been director of EY and KPMG for sure, easily.
When I passed out, I was in All India merit list of the All India Chartered Accountant exam, and I got the invitation from whatever the best companies were there at that time. You come and join at this salary. You come and join at this salary. No interview, no test, nothing. For the hobby sake, I went for 1 or 2 interviews. I had it clear in my mind that I will go for my own practice. But I should learn what is there in the interview also.
Yeah.
They selected me for a good job, petroleum company or the finance companies and all that.
Okay.
But I had no mind for
So, were you from a financially secure background back then?
Yes. My father was an IRS officer.
Oh my God. So, I mean, that's why you don't have
And he
the
had
need,
in his mind that when he will retire from the job, he will sit with me in my office. So we had the concept of practice from day one.
Okay, that's why you started something up here. It's great. I mean, because people now don't tend to do that, But now they become CA, now they have to join KPMG, Big Fours. And
The rest
they don't
part is
understand.
there, definitely there. Because those level of companies which KPMG or Pricewaterhouse are handling, they will never come to me. Or my level of firm.
Yeah.
I understand. I know that part. So, and for a small traders or a small businessman, that is not very remunerative.
Yeah. So you've been in the industry for 45 years plus. You've seen the dynamics changes, right? From like you were doing general, bookkeeping by hands. Now you're doing tele, ERP, SAP. So
mode of doing things have changed.
So
I remember 6 copies of balance sheet were typed on a typewriter. A correction is there, then again full paper has to be typed.
Okay.
Now computer is very easy. Simply you reprint it. That has become easier, cheaper, and decent in presentation.
Great.
And the volume of work which you are handling as on this date, in earlier period it was not possible.
So, in this 40 plus years, you've seen key clients change हो रहे हैं, right? Modes change हो रहे हैं. So, what are these? What basically क्या ऐसी चीजें थी जो according to you कि वो वैसी ही रहनी चाहिए थी, but वो change होगी, which is not right.
Change तो होनी चाहिए. देखिए, when the volume is increasing and the machines were not available at that time. I remember in 88 I purchased first computer and it was very slow. Hard disk was of 20 MB and 8 megabyte का वो speed थी and very very slow computer. DOS based system was working at that time. But things, so that was a revolution at that time. Now things have improved very much. Speed, accuracy, online communications with the department, furnishing of returns and everything online. That has eased out the things.
आपके लिए difficult था या बहुत easy था सब कुछ में adapt करना, change
We
करना?
gradually picked up as the need arose, but still as on date,
हाँ.
computer operation I don't find comfortable.
Yeah.
So I keep a staff for that. I made the policy and all that, and they do their work.
Yeah. If you can't do it, staff for it. Great. So I wanted to ask. So majority of the people who view us, right? They are very young. So I wanted to ask, what are the tax slabs? Basic, very easily. Income tax slabs.
Earlier it was up to 5 lakhs rupees. It was exempt. But if you exceed 5 lakhs rupees, so the working was started from 2.5 lakhs. 2.5 lakhs to 5 lakhs is 5%. 5 lakhs to 10 lakhs is 20%. And above 10 lakhs is 30%. And if you grow higher, 50 lakhs above, then there is a surcharge of 10%. If you grow above 1 crore rupees of income per year, then 15% surcharge. And then education cess and all that.
So much taxation for a country. Don't you think we should get relief from this? I mean, indirect taxes say majority of...
I attended one of the seminar by very high ups online. Fortunately, that day I had 2 hours time. It was conducted by Jaggi Vasudeva Sadhguru and chairman indirect taxes, chairman direct taxes, certain Supreme Court advocates, retired judges, and they were on the panel. And the conclusion was that a few 0.25% increase in the GST rate will give more revenue to the government than in income tax. And you are harassing the entire nation by keeping the income tax.
Yeah.
Jaggi Vasudeva himself told that first year I made concealment of income of 40 rupees. And I was successful.
Hmm.
The next year I made it 100 rupees.
Hmm.
Then I made it 1000 rupees. So you are developing a nation of corrupt people.
Exactly.
If indirect taxes is increased a little bit,
Hmm.
and they will get the equal amount or even more revenue.
Yeah.
And what is the use of keeping income tax there?
So according to you, they should be
abolishing
Okay.
income tax.
Great. I think the likewise. Why don't you think government is offering anything for upper middle class Indians? Like majority of people, if I am well off, if I am earning really good, I could move to Dubai, right? I could be a digital nomad these days, sit in Thailand, do whatever I want. Why should I be in India then? And government is not offering anything for us. Why is that?
Because the requirement to cater the need of the downtrodden or the poor class is so huge. All resources are dried up there. Hardly anything is left for the middle class.
It is a reality. So, what according to you, government should do for upper middle class people, like for well-off people?
Because very poor people don't need any support from the government. They need bread. They flexes their muscle. They earn enough, and they're satisfied. The upper class is happy. They have the money for every need, and they are hardly bothered. It is only the middle class and the upper middle class who exercises his brain, fix the priorities, and do all exercises. In most of the countries, the revolution takes place through the middle classes only.
Exactly.
It is not the higher class or the lower class which brings the revolution. And if you don't do anything much for them, then over a period of time, that repercussions will definitely come.
Exactly. That is the thing. But there should be, like income tax abolition that we talked about, and few different things. Government should do something about them, right? I mean, if I'm getting I'm very well off. I'm getting really nice money in my life. I'm enjoying my life. I could be wherever I want. Why should be I part of Indian ecosystem where I can be part of US, where I can be part of UK? I heard that getting a golden visa or work visa in Dubai is very easy, right?
That is all right. People brain drain to hota hai. Most of the IIT or the IIM MBAs they switch over to the Western countries.
Exactly.
Because still the remuneration is not that high as that is there in that country. And they face the competition from the Harvard pass outs and all that. That is there. Still IIM people are the second grade MBAs there.
Yes, exactly.
But still they get the better remuneration here.
No, that is something.
I think money is the main attraction there, and the corruption-free world, total corruption-free world there.
Yeah. I mean, I think government should do anything about ease of doing business, right? Nothing.
No, they have done enough, I think. The online submission of applications. I remember a day when 250 rupees refund was kept by the Babu in his drawer, that I will come and pay him 50 rupees and then he will give it to me. And that became time barred because it's valid for 3 months. When I reached there, he gave it to me and asked for the money. I said it is time barred. Now lakhs of rupees of refunds are coming automatically to the bank's account of the taxpayer. That is really ease of doing business is there. I don't say it is not there. So many things have been done. Online submission of the various licenses, applications, forms and all that. Faceless working. That has done a lot of things. But basically bureaucracy is the same which was there earlier also. Overnight it cannot be changed.
Obviously.
And they are all corrupt people. All corrupt people. कल तक जिसको उस काम करने के पैसे मिलते थे, आज उसको बिना पैसे के करना पड़ रहा है. He is suffocated.
Yeah. It will
take
difficult.
time.
Yeah,
Next generation, when they will come, they will change the things.
But if there are some policies, right, or there are some things which government can do to, promote ease of doing business in a country, आपके हिसाब से वो क्या होनी चाहिए? एक बहुत basic चीज, like कि ये ठीक हो जाता ना, तो
because so many things still needs licensing, permissions from the government agencies, and they hold the file. They simply delaying it attracts corruption. And if you pay the money, everybody has a price tag.
Yeah.
You pay the money and you get the work done overnight. That should not be there.
So that is something, I think that is something that should be revoked.
They have reduced license, Raj, but still a lot of things are required to be. Of course, for controlling the economy and the system, that has to be there. but it should be seamless.
True. I'm just creating a scenario out of this, okay? For example, I'm a 20-year-old guy, okay? I'm earning great in my life. I want to buy a house. So I should rent it or buy it? What should be my ideal? Like, मुझे अभी इन्वेस्ट नहीं करना, मैं सारा इक्विटी में पैसा डालता हूँ, फॉर एग्जाम्पल, ठीक है? I do SIP, I do equities and all of that. I want a place to live. So I should buy that or I should rent that? For a 20-year-old guy or a 40-year-old guy?
I think for both of them, if they have the money, still they should take loan.
Okay.
And put their money in some mutual fund or some shares investment, because normally even bank FDs these days are paying very good interest, 8.5%.
Yes.
And the bank loan, housing loan is also costing the same rate. So you put your money in the, because for repayment of the money as well as the interest on housing loan, you get income tax rebate.
Yeah.
That is always attractive.
So, don't you think the corruption in land ownership, like real estate industry is very corrupt, okay? Everything is just skyrocketing these days. जो फ्लैट आज से 4 साल पहले 2 करोड़ का था, आज वो 5 करोड़ 7 करोड़ का है. So don't you think after a point ऐसा आ जाएगा कि if I'm a 30-year-old 40-year-old I won't be able to afford, क्योंकि सैलरीज तो नहीं बढ़ रही ना. मैं आज 50,000 कमा रहा था तो कल मैं 5 लाख नहीं कमाने वाला, मैं 1 लाख कमाऊंगा मुश्किल से मुश्किल. So how could we even afford it after a time?
Of course, purchase of a house on a land is very difficult these days, at present also.
Yeah.
Because the land prices have gone up like anything.
Skyrocketed.
Even still, if you go for a flat in a high-rise building, that cost has gone up definitely. Definitely, it is beyond means. But if you are in a good salary and you take a housing loan, you can buy it today and pay in installments. That is possible.
So according to you, if you can afford it, then go ahead buy it. If you don't, just rent the house, right?
Rent out. Rents are not increasing because in near NCR, if you see Gurgaon or Noida or whatever it is, there is so much of construction has taken place and the actual user is not there. But still the prices are going up. I do not know. The cost of construction has not gone up that much. But still the prices are high.
So according to that, in that case scenario, you should rent the house, right?
हाँ, definitely.
कि अगर है पैसे तो ले लो, नहीं है तो चुपचाप रेंट करके बैठ जाओ. That's great. So I am a 20-year-old guy, again getting good money. How should I invest my money? Because
that is the need. You need the money after 5 years, or you need money after 40 years or so.
That is the long-term goal. Long-term goal.
The mutual fund is the best. Mutual fund sahi hai. So that is the best. Even if you go for beyond 10 years, the mutual fund on an average gives a good return.
Okay. And it's safe
of
also,
course,
right?
you should know when to switch. That you should know.
How much should be your SIP? What was the plan exactly?
Market linked or debt fund or equity linked and all that.
So I mean, first get yourself educated on the MFs and then do that. So according to you, that's the safest.
That is the safest. Equity market can go up and down. Industry which is at prime at this moment of time, after 5 years or 10 years, you may find it that share is not quoted in the stock exchange. So many things happen. The promoter's family split and whatever it is. So from that point of view, mutual fund is always safe. It is an investment in a basket of shares, not in one share.
Get it, yeah. And there's एक और चीज़ है in the market that's called small cases, right? So उसमें क्या होता है? Basket of stocks होते हैं. Mutual funds तो होता ही है, basket of stocks होते हैं. So that is also great.
हाँ, Nifty or BSE Sensex, if you trade in that, it is a package of all type of industry.
Exactly.
50 Nifty 50 or Bank Nifty or whatever it is.
So they are also good.
They are package.
So what according to you, not the whole secret obviously, but tax saving strategy क्या होनी चाहिए for a young guy?
It is in India, only the salaried people pay the real taxes.
Exactly.
Businessmen do not.
It is a reality. Sadly.
Because he cannot do anything. There was a commission constituted by, I think it was in Congress regime, Kelkar committee, which says scrap all these deductions and increase the basic exemption limit.
Okay. Why is that?
So, a new regime which the government has introduced, making the threshold limit to 7 lakhs rupees and removing all ATC or Chapter 6A deductions. That is in the same direction.
Okay, great. I mean,
No deduction, because so many people come to our office. They say ki my ATC investment is 50,000 rupees, but I want a refund, claim it at 1 lakh rupees.
Okay.
But 99% cases are not subject to scrutiny.
Huh.
They claim it and they get it.
Hmm.
So many times they issue a notice that employer has not reported this much of amount. You make sure that you have claimed the right deduction and all that. So certain people get scared with that. Lekin people are doing a lot of things in that. So why again I say, why develop the nation of corrupt people? Don't provide any deduction.
Okay. So, if again, 25-year-old guy working in tech, earning around lakh rupees a month, PF तो कट ही जाता है ऑलरेडी, सब कुछ कट के ही आता है मेरे पास, रेस्ट मुझे ITR तो फाइल करना ही है साल में. सो व्हाट शुड आई डू, कि मैं क्या क्या और ले सकता हूँ. लाइक फॉर एग्जांपल, अगर आपने जैसे बोला कि ATC जो है वो धीरे धीरे वो कह रहे हैं कि उन्हें अब अबॉलिश कर दो, बेसिक एग्जेम्पशन बढ़ा दो.
थ्रेशोल्ड.
हाँ, अभी तो नहीं हो रहा. इस साल का ITR में फाइल कर रहा हूँ. इस साल अगर मैं ITR फाइल कर रहा हूँ,
lot of courage and total of overhauling the system. It takes time. It's not done overnight.
तो अभी तो दैट्स द ओनली थिंग, राइट, कि मैंने ELSS में किया
ELSS और PPF और NPS, another deduction. These are the only salary people can do only these things. If you have housing loan, then 2 lakhs rupees of deduction for interest paid. That's all. Nothing beyond.
Nothing beyond that.
Because earlier at one time of people were allowed to reduce the business loss from salary income.
Okay.
So what the salaried people used to show that I'm doing a software business or this business or that business, jhuta profit and loss ek banaya, and they file it and offset their business loss against the salary income. But I think 4-5 years ago they have discontinued this practice.
Okay. So +1 हो रहा है, right? China से कम सारी इंडस्ट्रीज इंडिया आ रही है. इंडस्ट्री इंडिया क्या आ रही है? They are setting up a +1 factory है. So is it benefiting our country? कुछ genuinely हो रहा है या फिर वो ये फैक्ट्री डल रही है, 100 लोग काम कर रहे हैं?
I think post-COVID time there was a wave that Chinese support from Western countries, manufacturing hub, it was there. They will be shifting from there. I think when Trump was there, it was a very strongly advocated that they should migrate from there. But as we expected to see industries coming to India, that was not seen actually.
Yeah.
They shifted to Taiwan or Vietnam or anywhere else, but hardly any industry came to India which you can point out on fingers. So, I think red tapeism and the bureaucracy hardship, that is causing difficulty for them. Indian labor is expensive because PF, ESI, they account for 8 to 10% of the wages. Labor laws, minimum wages act, and their Indian labor is expensive. Whereas in China, Bangladesh or Sri Lanka, it is very cheaper.
True.
So they are not as such. I don't see that anyone is shifting or in the pipeline. Let us go to India. It's not there.
Nothing substantial happened.
Nothing substantial is happening on that front.
So a lot of people these days talk about India as the emerging economy, being a superpower, we're trying to become a superpower. And according to me, it's not happening, right now at least. Do you really see India as that, the country which is going to be the country?
Definitely, because we are here, daily improvement cannot be felt. But if you see anyone Indian visiting from outside India to India, then he feels a difference. The infrastructure development which has taken place in last few years definitely has helped to provide the facility to develop. Because investment in infrastructure, like one American president said, America is rich because the infrastructure is rich. It is not other way around. Same as Modi is doing good work on the infrastructure development, roads, bridges, dams, power generation, communication. These are the basic things. So this has improved and this will definitely improve.
Great. So, according to you, two things which Modi government has did, which is great, and two things that they should do. They are not, working on that.
The infrastructure they have developed
Is great.
and the respect for Indian overseas has gone up tremendous. Earlier we used to look down upon, but as a second grade person there, but now the Indian people command good respect. So there is a strong Prime Minister, everybody is saying that.
Yeah.
And what they have done is all right, but they have not done two very important things. एक तो immigration of people from Myanmar or Pakistan or other countries is still going on. They know the problem and they are not still doing anything concrete as such to stop that. Because whatever the policy, whatever infrastructure they develop with the growth in the population, everything will become nil. So that is...
अभी 22 तारीख को राम मंदिर का इनॉग्रेशन हुआ, राइट, एंड लॉट ऑफ लेफ्टिस्ट पीपल आर सेइंग कि इससे अच्छा हॉस्पिटल बना देते, इससे अच्छा ये बना देते. अकॉर्डिंग टू यू, व्हाट इज योर टेक ऑन दैट?
दिस इज नो वे ऑफ डूइंग इट. देयर आर लॉट ऑफ लैंड अदरवाइज अवेलेबल. वहाँ बनाओ हॉस्पिटल. अगर बनाना है तुमने. और ममता बनर्जी ने कितने हॉस्पिटल वहाँ बनाए कलकत्ते में. जमीन तो वहाँ भी है. नो लॉजिक कि उसकी जगह पे हॉस्पिटल बना लेते. दैट एंड नंबर वन. नंबर टू, गवर्नमेंट मनी हैज नॉट बीन इन्वेस्टेड.
एग्जैक्टली.
इट इज अ वॉलंटरी कंट्रीब्यूशन. तो वॉलंटरी कंट्रीब्यूशन गवर्नमेंट का कोई अकाउंटेबिलिटी उसमें होता ही नहीं है.
सो आई मीन,
मतलब the other way I was hearing a video on WhatsApp that राजघाट और ये शांति वन पे इतनी लैंड इन्होंने ऑक्यूपाई करी, इसमें कितने हॉस्पिटल बन जाएंगे, कितनी यूनिवर्सिटीज बन जाएंगी. व्हाई डोंट दे थिंक इन दैट डायरेक्शन? और ये तो एलिगेशन एंड काउंटर एलिगेशन का मैटर है.
So sir, your son is working in HCL, right? So tell us something about him.
He did engineering, computer engineering. Then after doing a 1 year service at Accenture, Bangalore, he appeared in the CAT, got selected there.
Get it.
And immediately after
College?
completing, finally he gave up Bangalore. He joined XLRI Jamshedpur.
Oh, great.
And immediately after passing out from there, he was taken by HCL.
Okay.
Because Vineet Nair was CEO at that time and he was from the same college. So he had a very fancy, so he attached him with him. And he grew well in the organization. When he was in India last, he was heading the digital marketing initiative of the company throughout the world.
Okay.
Then they shifted him about 5 years back to Frankfurt, Germany. He is there with his family and doing well, traveling from there also throughout the world. So he comments that the respect for the Indians throughout the world has grown tremendously.
And do you think is it because of Modi or
It is because of the Modi, Indian economy and the Modi.
So Indian narratives were working,
Definitely.
right? Great.
Definitely.
It is working.
In the priorities earlier, the Indians were given the second rank or the third rank, and now they are the number one.
Great. So in 2024, according to you, a guy who's keen into finance, he should do CA or CFA. What is ideal for anyone?
CFA in India is hardly, I think any institution is conducting that course. One has to go US or there. And I think there are 3 parts of it. But I have seen in my close relations, the girl who did 2 parts from US and came back, she got the job in Accenture, initial job of 30 lakhs rupees.
Exactly.
And after working for 5-6 years, grew in the organization. They shifted her to Houston, USA, and she is still there.
So
doing good job.
So CFA.
So after 2 parts of it, she was co-opted by the company and doing well. That is a wonderful course. Yeah. But the availability of such people in India is, I think, little less.
Yes. Great, yeah. So I had a great conversation with you, sir. Thank you so much for giving your time. And let's wrap it up, okay? Cut, guys. Cut.